The latest and greatest in rim firearms from firearm companies that make firearms out of fire. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to this episode of G4 Outdoors. As usual, we try to bring you guys the latest and greatest in rim fire rifles and handguns. Today we have the Savage Arms with a custom MDT frame on it. Let's talk about it.
Well, here's a little story about two friends that came together, and we started up a YouTube just to talk about whatever. We're on a boat catching big bass and smashing them cats, from review videos to just making you laugh. Cause we got guns, we got knives, we got fishing, we got hunting, we got everything you like, so hit that subscribe button. We're in the outdoors, doing things that we love. We're talking guitars, girls, green grass, and guns.
This is a Savage B17. I was going to do an unboxing on it, but it has this obnoxiously long box just for this rifle, so no unboxing, it's unboxed. So at home I do have the FS or FR17. It's a synthetic stock model with a 20 or 21 inch barrel. That is my personal hunting rifle for small game. This one, I'm not sure if it will become a hunting rifle or just a plinking rifle, and there's a couple reasons on here for this not being the best of hunting rifles. For hunting, I would much rather go with the synthetic stock. This one right here has quite a bit of heft to it. It is in a custom frame, milled out of aluminum, made by MDT frames. So this is really a custom gun, and it's really just starting to hit the shelves. So happy to get one of these right out of the gate. We will be going to the range sometime soon, and as you can see over here, we have a Ruger, you can't see it, but there's a Ruger 17 precision rifle over here. Very, very comparable firearms. Let's go ahead and start with the front and work our way back. We do have a thread protector on here for a threaded barrel. I don't plan on putting anything on here at the moment, although I am starting to want a suppressor, so that might go on there sometime soon. The barrel on here is a 18-inch barrel. It has a 1 in 9 twist, so we're going to be ripping some 17s out of here. Coming back to the bolt, we do have a tactical style bolt on here. Got a big old knob on it. The action on it, if you don't force it around, the action is very smooth. But if you're back here and you put a little bit of down pressure from here going forward, I wouldn't say it's rough, it's just tight and not well machined in that manner. But if you don't put a lot of pressure on here, the bolt is very smooth and light. I do like that. Now, as far as the action and the bolt on here, it's very, very similar to my FR17. So I believe, I don't know, I haven't done my research, but I believe that the action on this is exactly the same as the FR17. As far as the barrel goes, I can't tell you if that's the same or not. It appears to be different than the FR models. Now, the bolt easily comes out of here. You just pull the trigger while it's open and the bolt does come out. And I'm going to go ahead and leave that bolt out of here for the remainder of this video. Now, one reason why I feel that this should not be out hunting is the safety on here. It's kind of in an awkward position. It's tucked down into this well, and it's kind of difficult to get to, especially if you're like, you know, that's a lot of movement to get up in there just to put the safety on and off. I'd much rather have a side safety, or in regular Savage, the FS, they have a safety up here, which is a lot more ergonomical for your thumb to get to without moving the rifle around a lot. But with this being tucked down back in here, it's just kind of excessive movement. It is what it is, I'll take it. Not much to complain about. It's just a little bit difficult to get to. Now, coming back here, we do have a cheek riser, and cheek risers are something that I almost have to have on all of my rifles. I'm just not like, I'm not universal. I like to have a high cheek rise because I get my head down there pretty far. So I do like to have a cheek riser, and this one is infinitely adjustable, obviously, because it comes out. So let's go ahead and bump that up to its highest setting. And now we have a higher cheek rise. And that'll be a lot better for stabilization for your cheek, your head, and the scope. This one does not come with any sights on it. I don't know if they come with sights or not, but it does have a Picatinny rail on there. I will be putting a Hawk scope on there, 9 to 24 by 50, I believe. And I will be able to put a GoPro on that, so when we get out to the range, you guys will be able to see exactly how this shoots in real time. Unfortunately, here on the rear, we do not have an adjustable butt stock, butt pad, whatever. It does come with 2 shims in here to lengthen it. What is that? About a ½ inch. You can buy more shims to lengthen this, or you can take these shims out to close it up a little bit. But other than that, the length of pull on here, you have to take these shims out in order for this to be right. And as of right now, I wish that it had a little bit longer of a length of pull, because it's a little bit short back here for me. But overall, super comfortable. Like I say, this is a milled stock made by MDT, as well as the grip on here is made by MDT as well. And if you can see, it has an awesome swell on here, and it fits the hand so nice. I mean, this would be a comfortable grip for a pistol, but for a rifle, this is a very comfortable grip. As a matter of fact, it does have the screw down here, so I'm assuming that this is an AR-15 compatible grip. So you can go out and buy whatever grip you want on here if you want a mag pull on there. I don't see any reason, no reason whatsoever to take this grip off of here though, because it is comfortable. Working our way up towards the trigger here, we do have the standard Savage AccuTrigger on here. This supposedly goes down to 1.5 pounds. It does have an adjustment tool in the bag here for it, and I'm glad, because it used to be really hard to get in here and change these. So this little tool right here, I ain't showing it to you. It went down over there, but there is an adjustment in here for the poundage of the trigger pull. And you do have to take the complete action off of the stock in order to adjust that. And again, that's probably YouTube guidelines would put not a copyright, or just a strike on that for me doing that. So I'm not going to show you how to adjust your trigger on here, but it is easy. Just put that little tool on the screw, and it'll be right here underneath the action when you take this out. Loosen it or tighten it up, and you can adjust that trigger. And like I say, I'm not sure of the length of adjustments on there, but I know that it bottoms out at 1.5 pounds. I tried this trigger out when I got home. Gun was empty, of course, and accidentally squeezed the trigger off. It is down there super light. I'll go into that here in a minute. And then working forward again, we have an M-lock. An M-lock is my favorite over the Picatinny. These things really tear your hand up if you're carrying this around or whatever. I just really don't like Picatinny's up front. M-lock is my favorite, and I believe it's the best way to go. As you can see, it's all completely free-floated all the way up here to the action. Just a couple of screws on the bottom, one here in front of the mag well and one right here into the trigger guard. Just 2 screws holding this on, typical of any firearm. And down here we do have a proprietary mag, round magazine, round fed. I believe it holds 10 rounds. Very similar to the Ruger's, but this is a proprietary magazine that goes in to the Savage firearms, just like that. The overall fit and finish of this gun is pretty good. The aluminum has a really nice finish on it. It's all very smooth, although not slick. It's got a really nice coating on it. The hand grip is very rubbery, and you can get a really good grip on it. This thing's not falling out of your hand. Like I say, if this was a pistol, this would be an awesome grip. The rubber butt pad, although 17 HMRs don't require a really soft butt pad, this one has some really nice rubber on the tail end of it. The finish on the barrel, it is super nice, and I want to get this up here. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of shiny, but it's got a matte finish to it, and I really like the feel of it. It's not like a blued. although it may be blued with just a sandblasted finish. I really like the finish on this barrel. Now let's go ahead and put the bolt back in. The bolt can be a little bit tricky getting back in if you don't line everything up just right, so let's drop the cheek weld down. So we put that in there. Maybe it needs to be on fire. Pull the trigger. Keep on pushing, back it up, pull the trigger, and we're back in. Now the angle of throw on here, it's not an extreme angle. You don't have like a 90-degree throw on here. It's a really nice angle and comfortable to get up here and put it down along with your finger and bringing it back. You know, it's ergonomically, this is a fantastic setup right here. I don't foresee this interfering with my scope at all. With some of the some guns, you have a long travel of the bolt. I'm trying to look on the Ruger here, and it's just about the same. Now the trigger pull on here, like I say, we do have the AccuTrigger trigger on here. This one here is painted orange, and I'm not a huge fan of that orange at all. But it's going to stay there. I'm not going to sand that down and recolor it. I'd rather have a red trigger or some cool anodized. I'd like to see some cool colors on here other than orange. But let's talk about the trigger pull on here. Yes, it is an empty chamber, and yes, I am going to dry fire my rim fire gun. But the trigger on here, we have the AccuTrigger with some take up here. I'm telling you what, this trigger this trigger is on the dangerous side. That's how low it is right now, and that's why I don't want this the way it sits as a hunting rifle. This is going to be a really good target gun as it sits right now. As well, if you buy this off the shelf and plan for your kids to have this, please take this action off here, raise the trigger weight up right now, because the way it sits right now, it is super light. I'm excited to get out and shoot this. So as you can see, the AccuTrigger right here, you pull the blade back and this thing is immediately on a wall. This is nothing like a handgun to where you're going to have creep and mechanisms in here that have to do a bunch of stuff. All we have here is a trigger. Its sole purpose and sole design is to let the sear drop. So it's super light. There's no creep. There's nothing in here, and it's a 1.5 pound trigger. I don't have my scale on me. Otherwise, I would let you guys know the exact poundage on this. I might measure that when I get home and leave an annotation right here of how much this weighs. But it's a super light trigger, and that's where a lot of your precision in these PSR guns come in. PSR, I'm sure, is a name for a certain company, but these precision rifles, where a lot of that comes in, is going to be your trigger weight along with the free floated barrel. We're free floated clear back to the action, and I would have to take this apart to see how far back it's all actually free floated. Now this is the Savage B17, not to be confused with the A17, the automatics. This is a bolt action. I'll try and get this laid down here just right. We'll get the Ruger precision out, and you can see we're pretty much working with the exact same gun. Both 18-inch barrels. But there are some functionality items on the Ruger that I do prefer over the Savage already. Just sitting here on the table, one of them being the safety on it. I much rather prefer a safety be over here AR-15 style. Also, this does have an extendable, collapsible, and cheek weld adjustability to it. And that's probably the biggest thing that I like on the Ruger over this here. Not to downplay this gun at all, but just functionality, I'd rather the Ruger over this on the safety and the length of pull. Other than that, I haven't shot it, and I don't know anything about it as far as accuracy. And like I say, we try and bring you guys some rimfire content. and we did just purchase a FN 502. So, you know, we do a lot of handgun videos in 22 caliber. So we do have a new 502. So if you guys are interested in rimfire videos, please stick around because we will have some more content. Get this gun out on the range and put a scope on it as soon as possible. And we'll also be filming the FN 502. But for now, this video was about the Savage B17 in the stock custom MDT frame, all aluminum. It's a chunk of steel, it's a chunk of aluminum. I like it and I can't wait to get out on the range. Hey, I hope I gave you guys a nice overview of this gun. If I did, and if you like this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.
The weather's super crappy or you might be stuck inside. Search G4 Outdoors YouTube online. But as I look up and I